Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday's Q&A. We'll wait a little bit. I don't believe we have a theme today, but if you've got questions, get them ready, and then I'll let you know when we can proceed with the hands. I think Amy has a question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
So, I had a question on assembly and how it splits orders. And I know the last time that I had asked about this, it was considered to be like we set settings for how many items or pieces could be in an order before it splits it and prints out that assembly ticket.
hmm
But our settings are not at that, and we split tickets into one or two pieces, either in wedding gowns or in dry cleaning. And I don't understand why. And I would like to understand why it splits the tickets into like A and B when we're not marking it in as, as that. Like we mark in as five pieces to an order, we split. But in assembly, it splits it between one and two and three pieces.
Yeah, that's a good question. Can you remind me what cleaner you're with, just so I could, uh, well, I can show you an example too.
Yeah,
Um,
I can.
but yeah, if we can look at yours, that would be really good to
Okay,
really help
I'll
you out.
just send you the message. I'm with Sunshine Cleaners in Kentucky,
Okay, gotcha.
in Silver Grove specifically. There's a lot of Sunshine Cleaners.
Yeah, yep,
Jeff Schwegman is our owner.
gotcha. Okay,
But
I
we're
gotcha.
specifically having problems in our wedding gown department splitting orders. And originally we were running into that problem because we ran out of locations. But we have since fixed that in both the dry cleaning department and the wedding gowns, but it's still splitting tickets, even though we don't mark them in that way.
Yeah, yep. Okay. All right. Do you mind if I share my screen right now with your instance and everything?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, cool. And in some aspect. Okay, so where we're gonna go, where this is gonna be orientated around is the ticket splitting configuration. So first we'll start with smart home. We'll go to settings and then assembly and then ticket splitting configuration. So one thing that you mentioned is the ticket size, and you said we have, five. So there's two different methods that it's going to pay attention to what it's going to do. So the overall, your default is 9. It's going to pay attention to once you have 9, then it's going to split into the A and B. But if
And
you have,
we tell all of our employees that you can only have five before you split.
gotcha. Yeah, yep. So we would want to change this 9 to a 5 here, so that way your employees would not have to do it on their own. If that makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah, that does. I mean, even for new employees, they forget to split.
Um, but then each individual rule has its own priorities or its own method, right? So you also have the max items per split order here, to where if you were to specify this for, in this instance, you have shirts or shirt French cuff that are fold or have the special care, just fold on it. Anything more or without it, it won't pick up this rule.
Okay.
And then you can specify if you're like, okay, if we have folded shirts, I actually want this to be, 12 or something, but right now it's unspecified, so it should be um, unlimited to an extent, obviously to smart standards, though. but I don't see anything in here in regards to your wedding stuff.
And just to jump in really quick, by default, wedding gowns are set to be oversized, so anything in the price list that's set to oversized will split by itself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And when you say oversized to split, what does that mean?
Yeah, so basically when an item is marked as oversized or long, it just means that it's too big to go into a bag with something else, and it automatically splits by itself. But that's also controlled inside of the price list itself, not really the ticket splitting rules.
So I think because we handle so many wedding gowns, um, thousands a year, we have already settled that rule where it wouldn't split, but it is splitting on occasion. And I don't know why. It could be, a girl that's assembling and make an exception to a rule, but I don't know why it's happening, is what I'm asking.
Amy, I'm sorry. This third commentator here. This is Mike. Do you
It's
happen
okay,
to
Mike.
have an example handy of an order where it oversplit, where
Where
you
a
had,
wedding gown has ever split?
sure, or I mean anything.
No.
It sounds like it's mainly about wedding gowns. Do I have that right?
The problem is the last time that it happened, and no, I don't have an
Okay.
active instance to give you, but
Okay.
the last time that it did happen, they assembled a wedding gown that was not complete.
Hmm. Do you think the reason they, well, why do you think they thought it should
Well,
be assembled?
the ticket printed out,
Hmm.
and
Oh.
so they took the assembly ticket, put it with the wedding gown, which was not a complete order, and then processed it.
Can you, I just want to make sure I'm in the right instance here. What's the street number of the store you're working out of, or the
Uh,
street?
Mary Ingalls.
Okay, yeah, we are looking in the right one. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
that
Okay.
was the last instance, and I think that was maybe last month.
Okay.
But
So,
one wedding gown is one too many.
right, sure. Yeah. So I just going through a few things. I haven't checked every single one yet, but I'm looking at the wedding department and I haven't found any items that are marked as oversized by default. So that means it's probably not coming from the price list setting. However, in detailing, you can mark, there's a long solo button, long slash solo, which does the same thing as the
Yes.
oversized setting in the price list. But when I glanced at a couple of wedding gowns on the assembly table, now granted, you said it hasn't happened in a while, but they don't look like they've
No.
been marked as oversized. So I'm
Mm-mm.
inclined to say that's
No.
probably not the issue.
Our employees would not know how to do that.
Okay.
I just don't know where that problem came from.
Yeah, and none of your assembly rules or splitting rules, I should say,
Yeah, I don't
directly
think so either.
reference the wedding department or gowns. None of them are configured to cut bags down to such a small size, one or two items. So yeah, there isn't an obvious explanation right here in what I'm looking at in your system. So what I'd really like to see an example, and by what I mean is either if you're able to figure out what that last order was where it happened, you could send us the order number and we could investigate it. It doesn't have to still be open. It's fine if it's already paid and gone. That doesn't matter. Um, or the next time it happens, let us know as soon as you notice it. We can check it out. I
So
mean, I'll keep looking through your settings, but just at a glance, I don't see anything that jumps out at me as an obvious reason.
I didn't think our settings were anything wrong, but if I encounter like an A and B situation where it spits out the assembly ticket and then the girls go ahead and process that order like it's finished without the
Mhm.
B, I will let you guys know.
Yeah, for sure. And that because that sounds like it sounds similar to a problem that would, yeah, I mean, certainly be problematic. I should say an issue that would be problematic. Yeah, because that makes it sound like inventory mode or heat seal mode is being turned off for that particular order, but your assembly rules, which is where that would come from, are not configured to do that.
Yeah, our
So yeah, I'd
assembly
definitely like
rules
to see what's going on.
look really good.
Yeah, they do. They're really straightforward. They're simple and totally reasonable. I don't see anything that looks
Okay.
anomalous.
I was
So,
just curious because I'm not in the wedding gown department.
mhm.
I'm in a leather department, but they're having some issues in assembly and I cannot understand it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And I think so. Just so I understand, if I were to try to search for an order based on some parameters where this might have happened, do I just need to look for anything with 5 wedding gowns on the detailed at the same time, basically, or multiple?
Um,
Do I
our
understand
wedding
it correctly?
gowns, uh, our wedding gowns, tell me again what you're asking.
So I'm thinking I might be able to find an example without waiting for you to find one through a KPI. If I make a report with certain filters on it, I might be able to find one. So I'm just trying to clarify that I have a clear understanding of the issue. I need to look for essentially multiple wedding gowns for the same customer detailed on the same day, let's say, which implies they were dropped off at the same time. So more than
Oh,
2 or 3, right?
well, that would be hard to do for us because multiple, like the same customer would have to be like a wholesale customer. And most of our wedding gowns are through retail.
Right.
It wouldn't be,
Yeah, well, and I kind of assumed when you mentioned it that we were talking about wholesale stuff because of that. So,
no,
okay,
this was retail.
yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so all right. Tell you what, I don't want to take up everyone's time too much.
It's okay. I just,
There's definitely more that could be investigated
it
here.
was all resolved anyway. I was just curious.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so still, I'd love to know if you do find a new example because obviously that would mean there's still some issue in there. So,
If it occurs again, I'll let
yeah,
you
let
know.
us know.
All
All
right,
right.
hun.
Well, thanks, Amy.
Mhm.
Should I call on our regulars that usually have questions? There it is. Let's go with Jay first.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Jay?
All right. So my question is stupid, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Can you explain how to use the tags?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull open share the screen real quick. Okay, and when you're mentioning tags, I'm
And the
thinking you're
reports?
talking about reports. Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so what Jay's talking about is under reports and where to find the tags, KPI config, and then tags right here up in the top left. Now, tags is an easier way that you can either attach or sort your reports that either you are building, somebody in your company's building, or reports that you're having support build for you, or maybe that they're helping you with. It's that way you can go through and search and add. So if we have something that's like active customers with $250 spenders past 12 months without an email, something like that. Obviously, this is a different company. It's not anybody in here, but you can search here and then you can add them if you would like. You can also change the names of the tags. I think there's certain ones that you can't change. You can add new tags at the bottom if you wanted to start a new, say you want all of your managers, you have many stores, you want your managers to have their own tags of reporting. You can create a new tag that's for managers only, and then you can go through and add the reports that you want them to view on a daily basis or however often you want them to look at it. Uh, and then if you wanted to add it to a dashboard, so as you can see here on this left side, I have multiple different uh, this would be like a tag, essentially, one of these, just categorizing these reports that I put into that folder or tag. And so this is what they would see if they were to add, or if you were to add it for your employees.
So
So
my next question is there any way to remove tags? Because I got too many. I think I got too many. And I think they could be condensed.
yeah, so if you wanted to, you can see this delete over here on this right side, depending on which one it is. I think there's certain ones you can't delete, like
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'd have to check on it, but I think the only thing that you can't delete is control tower,
Okay.
um, and maybe some of the marketing stuff. But I think even those you can delete if you don't need it or if you don't find it necessary for you anymore.
Okay.
And then for those who are wondering how to add it to a specific employee, go to settings, employees, find one, and then you jump over to the admin tab. Obviously, if you have the ability to see this, then where it shows associated KPI tags, you can type it in to search for it. So delivery, they have 2 delivery KPI tags, so one of them they probably don't need. But you can add it so that way as you're building reports or as you're going through and finding new reports that are convenient for you, you can just add it under tags. If it was, let's go find the delivery one. And I wanted to add route regular customers. Then as this report updates, I don't have to continuously go search for it in categories under customers and find it the hard way. It'll just be underneath my delivery tag all the time underneath that dashboard.
So one more question that just left my head and it ain't coming back. All right, never mind.
That's okay. We got time.
Yep, I'll be back to it.
Okay. All right. We've got Brian.
Hey Tyler.
Hey, Brian. How you doing?
I just got my first reoccurring monthly statement. So what's the how should they're gonna pay by credit card, but how should I set it? Like how should I set up the accounts?
Yeah. So this is your first statement customer that's gonna that
Yeah,
automated statement per either first of the month, last of the month, however they want it.
yeah, it's gonna be a last of the month.
All right. Let me see if I can find one really quick. Generally, it's a hotel, right? Or no, is
This
it not
is
a hotel?
no, this is like a medical facility.
Okay, gotcha. And now, are you going to have their employees coming in? Are you planning on creating them an account, or are you just going to the facility, picking up their stuff? It's already marked. Like how?
Yeah, it's gonna be one customer because it's a pickup and delivery. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be one customer under that.
Okay, gotcha. Let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. This is just a test customer, but I'll show you the things to look out for and kind of where to start. But this ultimately comes down to how you're going to be processing each, I want to call it a transaction, each
Yeah.
pickup and delivery. So some people will have where you're going to break it down by department because it's a rather large building. So if it's I don't know, towels or guest bedding, stuff like that. If there's different things, they'll create other customers, and then they'll make this so this won't say hotel account, but it'll say a group master account, and then they'll add accounts underneath it that would
Got
have
it.
each department if you're to do department based. It
Got
also
it.
comes down to how the company wants to see their bill and what we can do for them. But generally you would want it for this, just for basics, you'll probably just want it to be, you can just start with a group master account. You don't necessarily have to do that. But the biggest thing that you'll want to have to set it to is statement customer.
And that's in the profile?
Yep, correct. Under profile.
Got it.
So once that's set, you can go ahead and hit save. Now you'll see they're set to statement. And then the next thing you'll want to check out is under your settings. So we clicked on the customer, went to settings, and now we're going to go to invoice settings. Now here you're going to, this is where you'll dictate, do you want it to go out certain days of the month, days of the weeks, no statements whatsoever, and you want to just generate invoices. So that's where it comes down to, what does the business want to see, or how do they want it to look? And then we'll try to tailor it to how they want it to look. But at the end of the day, we probably won't be able to get all of their capabilities, but we'll try.
What's the difference between the look and feel between the statement and the invoice?
Yeah, so there's not much of a difference. So if they want it to say invoice, but they want it to look like a statement, we have that ability as well. That's just a setting that you can check off. But generally with a statement, it will take everything from that time period and place it onto the statement. So it'll disappear from the close tracker. And then if you ever want to do anything to that order, you have to void the statement. So everything essentially gets stuck into that bill, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Whereas an invoice, it doesn't necessarily do that. It will be on the document, but it's not stuck to that invoice. You can create a statement over top of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So I think in this case, can I just do invoices automatically?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Generally, whenever people are doing invoices, they'll do twice a month. They'll do it on the 1st and the 15th. That's just what I've seen. Other people may have other ideas that they do it, but you can also do that with statements as well.
Got it. Okay. So I just change it in invoice settings then.
Hey, Brian. I just wanted to chime in and add a couple of things. So what Tyler said about being able to generate a statement after an invoice, unless I have it backwards, is right. However, I do want to clarify that if you need to make changes like adjust a price or something, and an order is on an invoice rather than a statement, you still have to void the invoice. That doesn't go away. But I also wanted to emphasize the differences that accountants will notice between statements and invoices, and this is a lot of times why certain clients will be picky about it. A statement, as SMART does it, a statement contains all the what we call financial transactions. So an order going into AR and a payment or a credit note, and also refunds and claims. So refunds, claims, and payments are all just considered types of payments, right? And then the orders entering AR are the specific line items in addition to those. So a statement lists all of that, and it includes all orders whether or not they're paid. It's only based on the AR date. If it falls within the statement range, then it'll be on the statement. And same thing for actual payments. They'll also be listed. An invoice does not list, oh, and a statement also has the carried balance if there was from the prior period. An invoice does not list the carried balance, and it will not list payments, refunds, claims, anything like that. And it only includes unpaid orders. So at the time the statement is generated, if an order is already paid, it's not on there because an invoice is intended to be a literal bill. Whereas a statement is more of it's a statement of the status or state of the account, right? And then the invoice is usually seen as, well, by the way, also this, yeah. So, and actually the main reason I wanted to chime in was, it sounded like you're considering scheduling both. I would recommend against it if you want to try and generate them on the same day. And I think it would be kind of weird to do otherwise because then they would apply to slightly different sets of orders. And the reason being is we can't control which of the two documents SMART generates first in the background. And sometimes it'll do the invoice first, in which case the statement is fine. But if it does the statement first, the invoice will be blank. And we don't have a way to control that yet. It's something I'd like to, I consider it a bug. And so I want to get that code updated. It's just not been prioritized yet because there's very few clients who even bother generating both. And even when they do, it's only for usually a couple of customers. So it's really not used very much in combination. But if that becomes an issue, let me know, please.
I think for right now I'm okay. I'm gonna only generate the invoice on the first of the month
Okay, yeah,
and then go from there.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there you go.
I think that's exactly what I was looking for.
All right. All yours, Todd.
Thank you.
Yeah, so then if you do end up needing to tailor that account differently, as in they do want to do department based rather than just one main account, definitely let us know and then we can go
Yeah.
through that as well.
I think for right now it's a pretty small medical facility, and right now we're only doing blankets. But I followed exactly what you're saying and creating the master account, things like that. So if I do need it, I'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah. All right, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Looks like we've got Amy again.
Okay, one last question. I know
All
I'm
good.
always quiet, but not
All
today.
good. All good.
So one of my other biggest problems is transferring to accounts. And specifically, I'll give you a background. Like I have a lot of wholesalers that do not fill out their invoices, so I don't know where they belong. So I put them into a no home account. And in that no home account, once it gets processed, it comes down the line, it gets racked. Once it's racked, I cannot transfer it to their account. I either have to pick it up or delete it to get it and then put it back in their account. And is there a different way to do that?
Yeah. So I guess there's a couple methods behind it. If it sounds like you don't have the ability to retract it from AR, if you have that ability, that's good because then you can just hit retract from AR, so that way it's no longer in accounts receivable, and then you should have the ability to transfer at that point. The other thing to check out is to make sure that you just have the ability in general to transfer. I know that some companies change it based on the level of employee, but it sounds like you have the
So
ability to, right?
I am like the senior manager
Okay.
level, uh, one step below admin. And I don't know how to do that. If you could show me, that would be great.
Yeah.
If I have the, ability to do it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I've got you guys pulled up again. I'm just gonna pull open that no name account. Is it all
Yeah,
one
but
word?
use no home.
Oh, no home. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, so is there an order like this one right
Yeah,
here?
like that one.
Yeah, so if you were to hit retract from AR, if you have this red button, you can
Yeah, I
retract
do.
it. And yep, so if you press that, then this transfer button will appear. Then you can click that and then you can type in the customer that you need to send it to and
Oh
then
my gosh,
click
that
complete.
was so easy.
The other thing that I would wonder is there a reason that it's already being racked in ready status essentially
Yes,
before you're able to choose where it's supposed to go?
yes. So I only like when our marketing team marks in
Mhm.
and they don't know where it goes to, it gets kicked back to me, which I put it in no home. And then by the time it gets back to me, it's already wrecked.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I'm like, I don't know what to do now. So I
Okay.
stick it on a no home line. And by the time I figure it out, I have to delete it because I can't pick it up. Well, I can pick it up or delete it. It doesn't matter because nobody's getting charged, but I would rather transfer.
And Amy, I just want to add a little something. If you do ever use that red AR button to retract an order from AR,
Mm-hmm.
it's less important in these cases, probably, if these orders aren't end up not being real or never getting paid or resolved. But you generally want to, after you've moved it, transferred it, made whatever change you need to make, you'll notice that the red AR button has been replaced by a green button that says force finish, which I'm sure you've seen before.
Yes.
You want to click that button when you're all done to sort of put it back into AR, back in the ready status, essentially back into the previous state that it was in, unless there's some reason that you shouldn't be doing that in that case. Like I said, with these free orders, it's not as important that they're in AR because it's not going to trigger anybody to get charged for them, but they'll stay in your production reports and whatnot long after
Right.
they need to be.
And that's I want to try to get rid of that.
Mhm.
And I'm doing double time to put it in a no home account and then get it out of the no home account.
So that makes me wonder if we have a workflow issue that's causing us to, like,
No, it's
why
not
do we have
you.
so many orphan issues or orphan
I
orders?
have so many orphan issues because we deal with several hundred wholesalers and
Ah, gotcha.
uh, invoices don't get filled out, so I don't know who they belong to. It's
Mhm.
definitely not a smart issue. It's definitely
I was using the
a
royal we.
wholesaler issue.
I understand. Yeah, okay. Well, if you tell you what,
But it was killing me
if
not
you
to be
want
able to
to ever
transfer it.
maybe, yeah. So I'm glad we got that resolved for you. If you feel like you've got
Yeah, thank
some
you.
something that could maybe use a little help working out, improving your system a little bit, whatever, let me know. You can reach out, put in a ticket. If you want some help with your workflow, or if you feel like maybe Smart might be able to help you keep better track of some of those. I realize if it comes in with no invoice, you're out of luck, but uh,
Right. I
I'm
think
just throwing that offer out there.
we have a great relationship with you guys
Good.
and senior management understands everything. I think we're good with Smart.
Okay.
It's just getting, the several hundred wholesalers on board.
Yeah,
But
getting
the
them all to.
transferring
Yeah,
system was escaping me.
great. All right. Well, was there anything else we can look at for you?
None. Thank you.
All right. Who's next? We got a bunch of hands up. I did not catch who was next, so I'll let Tyler call on somebody.
Yep, it looks like I've got George next.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Mike, do you ever do house visits? Do you ever visit plants and see how they operate and kind of get a bigger picture or enlighten us on how smart can work for us better?
Well, I personally have not. I believe we have sent technicians on site for things like that in the past for existing clients. Usually, we reserve the on-site visits for new clients for their go live phase. Um, I have found I've been asked a couple of times, and I was usually actually able to help the client resolve everything remotely. So if you have a list of pain points or things that you'd like to get done or fixed or optimized or whatever, I'd be happy to discuss it with you. And if it seems like we should send someone out there, we can talk about that.
Okay. No, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm small, right? See the value. I know of other companies that do that,
Hmm.
and the operators, the owners are always like, yeah, we should have done this a long time ago. That was just a side note. sales,
Sure.
man. I like rock, and I like smart. So
Glad to hear it.
now, yeah, I was asking about the wash and fold. If there was any updates to the interface, to the department, to user friendly on both, and um, us and the consumer, the
Re-
customer.
Oh, you had a question in the chat, I think, about that. No? Yeah. With
I
the,
think
oh, the
I
poundage and reporting. Yeah. We have not addressed that yet. I'm glad you brought it up. I'll dig up that feature request and just try and get it prioritized. I am part of our development sort of committee, but we have to consider all the our bug reports and feature requests and prioritize them based on impact largely. And that's not to say this is a low impact issue. It's just something we haven't prioritized yet. So I'll do what I can to get that in the rotation and in the pipeline.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, just
Mhm.
wash and fold is new and growing, and yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm certainly familiar with those issues with the way the pounds don't show up in the places you want them to, like on invoices and reports, and you can't actually count up the pounds, as you said, per month in a report. Yeah, I'm with you.
Got it. One more before I let you guys go.
Sure.
The old mobile app, it's not going to be phased out, right? I find value in it.
Not anytime soon.
Okay. And it's buggy, but it does the trick. I have a note, Samsung Note, and the screen is just, yeah, it's just a little buggy, but I'm able to dig in a little and find, yeah,
You're talking about the
what
old
I'm
one,
looking
right?
for. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, at this point, for anyone who's curious, we recommend stick with the old one for now. We still have too many high impact issues in the new app that we want to resolve before we're ready to recommend widespread adoption. So if you're using the blue app, I recommend you go back to the black app, the older one. It's pretty solid. It's pretty consistent. It has a few rough around the edges issues, but it gets the job done and doesn't have any of the major issues that the new app has. So black icon is what you want to go for now, and the blue icon, if that's the one you're using, that's the new one, and we can help you switch back to the old one if you're interested in that. And that's for anybody out there listening.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think I'm going to stay here because I have a feeling Michelle and I might need to talk. Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Sorry, I
Hey.
had to figure this out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm using a new headset too. So
Okay. Sounds pretty good.
thanks. So I know we'd asked about this a long time ago, but we have master accounts and also stop masters where
Mhm.
we don't want our staff detailing into those accounts because those accounts are well, a stop master is a stop master. They're everyone on that stop should have their own account. So sometimes the CSR will bring in an order, and I guess they put the wrong bag tag on, or they don't have that account set up yet. So they print a bag tag off for the stop master, and we have a note on there saying, "Do not detail this to this account." Blah blah blah. That pops up. Of course, pop-ups are good when people read them. So with the stop master where it's so like we have an apartment building and called 39 Old Mill Road, and everyone there is a resident. Every resident has their own account, their own credit card number. We just want to keep them all together so they're under one stop, right? So that's why we have the stop master. 39 Old Mill does not have an account because nothing should be billed to that account. If I go in and I delete all the items for detailing, then would that affect any new resident that's added on to the stop master? So like, you go into production settings and you have all the items that you can detail. If I deleted
Right.
all of
Okay.
those and then I set up a new resident, would they have no items as well?
So, okay, I'm actually looking at 39 Old Mill, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking at in order to answer your question. So the first thing I'm looking for is a customers tab. It does not have a customers tab, which means it's not a group. It's just a standalone account that's being used as a delivery master, which is actually to our
Yes.
benefit here.
Okay.
That means that when you make a price list change, and I would recommend doing what you're suggesting through the price list rather than through the setting. You can do the same thing on the price list for that account. Um, and the fact that it's not a group means when you do this to the price list, it will not affect the sub accounts, the delivery subs. Their price list will be unaffected.
So I would
So,
just go in and where it says show and detailing, unclick them all. Like just say so that.
there's actually a checkbox at the very top,
Mhm.
and if you check it once, it'll select everything in the column, and then if you uncheck it, click it again, it'll deselect everything in the column, then you can save, and then there should be nothing available for detailing on that account.
Okay. So that's good for that type account. Now my other problem is when I have a master billing account, I can't do that because then when I set up a new employee, it won't do that. But I don't if the customer might not pay if I can't tell them whose garments they are.
Mhm.
So that would be something like, and so a lot of these do have special price lists. I'm just trying to think of one. Uh,
Yeah,
so
for a billing
for,
group,
yeah,
you're
where's the
right
billing
that
group?
the same solution wouldn't apply.
So I'm wondering who else has this issue and if it would be nice if sometime in the future Smart could have a feature that says no direct billing to this account or something like if you go into our account called ROM housekeeping and they all have special pricing, but nothing should be billed directly to this ROM housekeeping account. If they send in spare uniforms, we have a spare uniform account. And again, the
Mm.
notes there do not, but when you're using the bagger, the labels that note isn't going to appear on the label, the do not tag to this account. It's only going to do it if you have a manual invoice. So I'm sure I can't be the only one that needs that this would benefit where you can't bill to this account. So that stops our CSRs and they come and say, I can't detail this order because I don't know who it's for. And then we would call our contact for that customer and say, like, who is this for?
Mm.
And then get them properly set up.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't
So
think
we're
there's any
heat
way
sealing.
around on.
I was just noticing we are heat sealing, so unless they're new garments, we should be able to tell who they belong
Well,
to. So really, so I guess that's the
they
only
can be new.
situation where that
Like
applies.
a
Then
lot
yeah.
of, we also have a lot of uniforms for, like, we have a lot of stores where we do their uniforms, like Louis Vuitton, Hugo Boss. So if they send a new employee in without
Mm.
or they send new uniforms in a bag that doesn't, well, if they send new uniforms in a bag, it's going to get detailed to the wrong bag, but that's not
Yeah.
our fault. That's, but it can be. The other day we had one and it got so we had a PMP. We had to pick up not paid because the root CSR just delivered it back and it was on a stop master and that isn't set up for charging because it was a stop master. There's no one under that one, so I'm not even sure how he got that one. But anyway, some of this is things we have to clean up, but others is just trying to stop this from happening.
Yeah. So I think for something like ROM housekeeping, a no name account to house those orders can be helpful. There
But
are
they're not
some.
going to, the problem is the CSR is just going to say, oh, this is from ROM or this is from Louis Vuitton, and they're just going to put it under the master account. Unless it comes in a bag that says no name or spares. Like for a lot of these accounts, we do have spare uniform accounts.
Mm.
And that the head person for that department will put spare uniforms in that spare uniform bag and then they'll get detailed in. But sometimes stuff just shows up out of the blue. They put their name in a bag and they just send it in. So the bag has none of our labels on it. And the CSR picks it up. So he or she does a little tag for where they've picked it up. And then which is usually the master stop. And then instead of putting that aside and bringing it to the office, it goes in with, the 100 other bags they picked up that day. And the CSRs either don't see the message, it pops up and they just keep going. Again, because this is something that we can't say you have to actually physically clear. Like if we had it, do not put in this account, and this actually should be on detailing instead of print on ticket. And then they couldn't, they couldn't start detailing without hitting yes. I've seen this message and, oh, I guess I can't do this. So, there's a couple of ways that could trigger, hopefully, an extra stop. One would be just saying nothing is to be detailed to this account. It should, period. But then you also got to work that it's a master billing account. So then when it pays, it still has to go on to that master billing account, or like when it's delivered, it has to go on to the master billing account.
Yeah, but still, nobody has to detail anything there, so that doesn't really interfere in that way. Okay, so yeah, I definitely, I feel like I have a clear understanding of the issue. I'll think about possibly some alternative methods to kind of help with this, but fundamentally, it does come down at least partially to a training coaching kind of thing. If the note's there and it's getting ignored,
you have to go back and
we can write features all day long to further restrict people who don't read notes, but really what that's going to do is make the system overly cumbersome for most clients, or just add way too many options and make it really hard to manage. So that's why we don't just jump on every opportunity like this. We look for workarounds and workflow adjustments using existing configuration options to see what we can solve. So
no, I understand that, but I just want to bring this up because this was an issue both with Spot and now with Smart. So we've had this issue over both, but I think in the previous, you had to actually you could say that you had to hit yes to clear the message on some certain types of messages, so that they couldn't say, oh, I didn't see it. And some of this is us going in here and changing. So like this one here, I just changed it so it should become a pop-up when I go into ROM. I've changed it to detailing, and that makes it a pop-up instead of print on tag. But
it was
again,
popping up for me also. So they'd still have to click past it, but yeah, it just takes one casual click anywhere on screen and it goes away.
Rather than saying yes, a button that says yes, I'm acknowledging this. Maybe because I'm not in the app. I'm actually I've got it on the web version. Maybe that's why it's not popping up.
I'm on the same interface. I'm accessing it the same way. Anyway, it's a pop-up now. So right for you. Okay.
I'll find out in a minute. Yeah, because it's not popping up for me right now, but maybe because I just didn't go to home. But
yeah, well, when I reload the page, it pops right up, and it's a detail, so I can tell that you changed it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is popping up for me now. I just had to go back out and back to had to go back to home screen or refresh. So yeah. But yeah, so that would like I said, it would make our accounting side a bit easier if they couldn't actually do it when we know that we don't want them to detail to a specific account. And the stop master, I just thought of that today when I saw this one. So that one we can go in and fix ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good solution in those cases.
So, all right. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, and last one we've got Jay.
Okay. All right, so if this turns into a ticket, it's okay. But my question is, dealing with permissions, I have my store manager that don't have access to the employee module.
Okay.
Is that a quick fix or no?
I mean, I can pull it up and just take a look at your permissions, and then I'll leave everybody with a.
Jay, what level is that employee?
She's currently store manager.
And she can't access employees?
No.
I would think
Senior
that's
manager
accessible by
can.
default. Yeah.
The senior manager can, but the store manager can't.
So I think we can. I think Tyler and I are both looking. I think employee module is something that can be adjusted in permissions. Oh my gosh. Employee. Yep, there it is. Okay. I am not logged into your system, Jay, but the one I'm in, it's store manager. I don't know if that's a default or not. So you should be able to at least change that via your permissions page if you're okay changing it for all employee levels. Well, not, I'm sorry, not all employee levels, for all employees who would be a store manager.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yours is set to store manager, apparently.
Yeah.
Which employee had the problem?
Tiz. T-I-Z.
Okay, this might be a slightly different issue with their profile, which we know how to fix. Tiziana?
Yes.
Okay. Hit edit employee?
Who, me?
No, I'm sorry, I'm talking to
Oh,
Tyler. Just toggle it to one level down, save, and then bring it back up. Okay, we're trying basically to reset her level on her profile. So let's have her, whenever you get a chance, have her try again after reloading Smart. Make sure you hit Control R to reload whatever station she's using. And I think she'll be able to access it now. If not, then yeah,
okay.
I think we'll need a ticket for that.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right,
Yep.
good deal.
And then just for everybody to see, under the Learning Center, there is an employee levels explained. I had to explain this earlier today, so I might as well do it again here while everybody's here. If you are wondering where this is under the Help Center. And what I do is I just search for levels. And then this pops up, employee levels explained. And then this gives you a rough idea of what the standard access should be for, well, that Smart sets it at to begin with. So in case if you have questions of like, oh, who can add a credit or, things of that nature, this is always a useful tool to use. And then an explanation of what each individual permission level does or what it should have access to. All right. All right. Okay. Let's go back to Jay real quick.
Yeah, real quick. There was an issue with the route manager module not being assigned properly. Was that ever taken care of, or you don't know? Like my not a store manager, my
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember this.
yeah.
I don't know if that was actually resolved or not. I guess I would need to ask you if they're able to see the information now, if they're able to click on routes and if they can see all the routes.
I would have to check that tomorrow. I just didn't. I was just thinking about it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, if you find it that they still can't see the routes, but they can see the module, which doesn't make sense. But yeah, if that's
Yeah.
still the case, send me an email or something, and then I'll.
All right. Yep.
Do you have restricted stores, Jay?
No, no,
No? Okay,
no.
never mind.
Nope.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll check it out tomorrow and I'll send you a ticket.
All right, perfect. All right. On that note, I think we will go ahead and wrap it up there. It looks like It looks like Amy wants the photo from last week, so I think we can pull it up. Okay. So I'm being told that it's going to be posted on YouTube on the video. It's going to be posted today about last week. So Amy, if you want to go view it there on YouTube, you can go ahead and check it out there. Or I'm sure we can track down that image and get it back over to you. But anyways, that was a good Tuesday Q&A. So everybody enjoy the rest of your week. And if your answer did or your question did not get answered, you can always submit a ticket to us. Okay. All right. Have a great rest of the week, guys. Thanks.